My name is Andy Schmuckler, and I want to talk to you if you're one of the people who, like me, feels somewhat traumatized by the victory of Donald Trump and recognize what a catastrophe it is and what an unthinkable thing it is. And I've got something to offer in relation to that. We also, I also want to talk to you if you're one of the people who think, oh, we shouldn't have lost. Um, what are we supposed to learn from this? The Democrats going on about that. The answer, I think, or at least the biggest piece of the answer, is at a level whole lot more profound. Uh, this is a teachable moment at a profound level, and it doesn't have to do with like what I read the other day that someone thinks that Kamala Harris gave up a big opportunity to stress the implications of electing Donald Trump in terms of the future of the Supreme Court. I don't know how much that is, but if it's anything at all, it sure ain't much, and it ain't nothing compared to what it is that I think is the big piece of the answer, and that's why it's a teachable moment. And I feel confident. I really know a few things that are important here that are to be taught in this moment. I don't feel confident I know how to get it across because I've got a lot of experience of having something important to say and not being all that successful in getting it across. But what I'm going to be doing here is a series of pieces, very short. I want to keep them short so you can just sort of, if you get into it, you, then it's easy to start and it's easy to stop. And 4 days ago, I made a video that went over an hour, and I don't think I can get an audience that way. But if you want to stick with me, I'm going to try to show that in some very profound way, this extraordinary thing of a man like Donald Trump being actually chosen by the American people, that the liberal side really has some responsibilities, that somehow it didn't fight the fight it needed to fight. But it wasn't at the level of Kamala Harris. I think she actually did an exceptionally good job. I would give her an A. Not that I couldn't come up with, maybe you should have done a little of this or that, but running a campaign the way she did, she made everything as clear as it needed to be to the American people. And what's unthinkable, what's profound about this is to notice that the American people presented very vividly with this contrast between what Donald Trump was representing and what he was doing, and just the destructive, ugly aspect of it, and the hopeful. Anyway, she did her job. Perfect? No, but like I said, I would give her an A. The real problem with the democratic world is that we got to that point where something so extraordinary as the American people voting for a guy like Donald Trump, getting more votes than anybody else, could possibly happen. Because the premise I start with here to get to the teachable moment is that no previous generation would ever have looked at somebody like Donald Trump, all the indictments that show he really did commit crimes, the ugliness of the way he does it, his assaulting women, what the jury found about what he did to E. Jean Carroll. I mean, he's got enough automatic disqualifiers, according to previous generations, that the overwhelming majority of Americans would have simply rejected him outright. Yet, we've gotten to the point where a majority of voters, with all that right in front of them, either what they didn't know or didn't know how to interpret or didn't care, one way or another, the American people were in an extraordinary situation. And there's something to be said about how did we get from, let's say, the Republican Party of Dwight Eisenhower and the Republican Party of Ronald Reagan and the first Bush, where, according to my premise, they never would have gone for somebody like Trump, to the point where he gets that much electoral support. That's the mystery, and I've got the solution. I'll be back before long. If you want to see in the medium that I have whatever it is, over 60 years of experience now as a writer, please go to my website, abetterhumanstory.org, where I've laid out a lot of things of the sort that I'm going to be presenting in this profoundly teachable moment, where the extraordinary thing of the American people choosing a guy like Donald Trump should be getting us to ask some questions that I'm going to be asking and providing, I think, fairly valid answers to. Thanks. Stick with me if you will.